in the NFL there are no black owners.
No.
You know, and I watch you and my other homies play, and I see a lot of black people and poor white people. You know what I'm saying? Mostly black folks.
Right.
How do you feel about that? How do the players talk about that?
Man, to be honest, it's a tough situation because I mean, you know, you got to think your whole life you've been playing football. You know, for that moment to go ahead and you know to play in the NFL, and then you know when you get there, you know all the executives, the owners, they all white, and I mean, you know, it get to a point where you know, in order to fit in, you got to learn how to, I guess it's called code switching or something, where you got to not be yourself in order to fit in, and I'll say to stick around. And then, I mean, you know, you don't get too many, you know, athletes that actually go into it with the mindset that they're going to be able to continue to be themselves and give the game back to, you know, the younger athletes in order to start a change and to start something differently, because most people say, you know, it's about getting your money in. At that time, getting your money mean just go out there, play football, and shut up. So if you think outside the box, you tend to shorten your career or not get your career started. And you know, after you know chasing that career, you know, after, you know, putting in all the time in order to get to the NFL, you kind of don't do nothing else. So therefore, it leaves you in a position where your whole life you've been trying to get to this point, and now that you're there, you don't make it, you have nothing to fall back on. And I mean, that's probably like 90% of the league. So if you do get in the lead and you do have let's say a 5-year career, you know, that's another 5 years in which you put onto your life where you have not thought about what you're gonna do when it's over. So it kind of mess you up in the head, and you gotta reprogram yourself into thinking something differently. And when you don't have a goal, like, oh, I'm gonna reach the NFL, it drains you and it puts you in a different position. So after you've been going for this job to get in the NFL, and people telling you to code switch, and then when you get into code switching and then that don't work out for you, and now you got to go back and find yourself, you chasing your own tail, you fighting demons within yourself, and it's hard to get out of that because nobody has broke the cycle to understand that. We talk about it all the time, it's like a backup plan, but when you see the NFL is so promising and you see all the glamour behind it, you don't think about that. And I mean, at the end of the day, you know, you watch what's going on. It's not that they don't give a fuck about you. So as long as you go ahead and put in the time and the effort, and the way I see it, what they call it, the 15 seconds of fame, that they be able to, you know, to shine on, that's another win in their book. You know, for them, you get your 15 seconds and then, you know, you pass through the pipeline again. When I first got to Seattle in 2010, we had a transaction of 275 players that came in and out of there within 1 year. Only 53 people could be on the team at a time. And we had 275 players that came in and went out. And at the end of the day, I'm just thinking in my mind, like, where are those 275 players at now?
How many of them was black, Lynch, if you don't mind me asking?
200,
I'm curious.
275. Man, I mean, you know, it's a hard. I mean, you know, it's hurtful because you come in there one day like, hey, what's up, boy? How you doing, man? And then the next day you come in there like, hey, he's nowhere to be found. So, you know what I mean? It's a hard game. But then at the end of the day, like, you know, like I said, with 13 years in the league, I had to look back at that and I had to say, like, oh, that's business, because that's what they put it off to us as. Like, that's business.
Or capitalism.